Can we have the PPT, please? Yes, sir. Slideshow, please. So you just now saw what a focused mind can do. So a very warm welcome to all our valued participants to the AGST Digital SAT live webinar on strategies and tips for digital SAT. My name is Surbhi Kalhan and I am honored to be your host and an English faculty at AGST. Today, we embark on an exciting journey together where we will unlock the secrets to excel in the SAT and open doors to the world of possibilities and opportunities. But before we delve into the depths of SAT preparation, let me take a moment to introduce AGST, the driving force behind this transformative initiative. Sir, can we have the next slide, please? As you can see, AGST, short for Allen Global Studies Division, is a dynamic platform that empowers global citizens to create solutions for tomorrow's challenges. AGST goes beyond traditional selection criteria, providing students with a comprehensive platform to explore academic opportunities, but in abroad. We have spread our roots in 10 cities, as you can see, and that's just about the centers. We have students across the globe in AGST. Our mega achievement is every year we have an MIT selection from AGST. And to beat this record, in the last application of fall 2023, 2 of our students got into MIT. MIT is world's ranked 1 university. We couldn't be more proud. Our students get into the world's most renowned universities like MIT, Oxford, Cornell, Caltech, NYU, University of Pennsylvania, to name a few. Our mission is to shape students into world-class professionals. But how? How do we do it? What's the secret ingredient? Let me show you how do we do it. Sir, can we have the next slide, please? So we at AGST provide career counseling to our enrolled students, test preparation for tests like SAT, IELTS, and TOEFL, internship assistance for international universities, document preparation and application process for your dream universities, visa assistance, and travel assistance. We don't leave our students' hands halfway. We walk with them from the initial stage to after they have enrolled into their dream university. We understand that education is not just about acquiring knowledge, but it's also about nurturing a well-rounded personality. Hence, our focus extends beyond mere academics to the cultivation of essential life skills, and that is our main focus. Can we have the next slide, sir, please? So, our results, as you can see, speak for themselves. An astounding 90% of our students secure admission to the top 200 colleges in the world, as rated by prestigious QS ranking. We take immense pride in their accomplishments and are committed to guiding our students towards their dream institutions. As you can see, all these students have made it into a world rank #1 university. Next slide, please, sir. All these students have made it into Oxford University, which is ranked #4 in the world and #2 in the UK. Next slide, please. All these students have made it into their dream university with 100% scholarship. And yes, that is possible. How is it possible? We'll tell you that in this webinar very soon. Next slide, sir, please. As you can see over here, these are the top universities from where our students have got admit calls. These universities are from around the world. Some are from the USA, some are from the UK, and some are from Canada. So yes, it is possible to make it into your dream universities, the top universities in the world. Next slide, please, sir. Now, let's talk about that main examination that we all have been waiting for which is SAT. Please do not ask me about its full form because it has none. Surprising? Yes, it is surprising, but it is what it is. It does not have any full form, but here at AGST, at Allen Global Studies Division, we like to call it as Saturday. Why so? Because SAT takes place on Saturdays only. This was an information for each one of you. So today we will learn the intricacies of digital Saturday preparation with a particular emphasis on scoring 1500 or of course above. The SAT, as many of you may already know, is a standardized test widely used for college admissions in the United States and various other prestigious international universities. It assesses your skills in critical reading, writing, and mathematics, serving as a gateway to prestigious institutions around the world. Through this session, we aim to inspire you to embrace the new way of achieving heights in education by studying abroad. Now, let me tell you something very interesting over here. There are over 40 esteemed Indian colleges and universities that recognize the value of SAT scores as a measure of academic excellence, preparedness, and potential. And you heard me, right? I'm talking about Indian colleges over here. Institutes like SRM, OP Jindal, VIT Vellore, and SP Jain accept SAT scores for admission and scholarship purposes. So by achieving a high score in the SAT, you not only open doors to prestigious international institutions, but also enhance the chances of getting admitted to top Indian universities as well. Yet, we have seen that often the students and parents, they tend to be location biased when it comes to choosing educational paths. Now, what is being location biased? They are naturally inclined to consider institutions within their vicinity or those they have familiarity with. However, this limited exploration may unintentionally restrict the potential growth and discovery of their kids. So by expanding our horizons and considering other educational options, especially at abroad, we open ourselves to a world of possibilities. So now, if I ask any one of you about your dream university, what will be your answer? I would like to know that in the chat box if possible. So can we have the next point in the slide? If I ask this question, many of you will say that it is MIT, but what is the score to get into MIT, world's #1 ranked university? So as you can see, if you'll search for MIT in this graph, you'll see the score which is required to get over there is 1570 out of 1600 in SAT, the examination. You can see the borderline in the graph, which is what? Which is 1490. That is the bare minimum required for these universities, right? But why to settle for the bare minimum when you can achieve much more than that? Which will also open door to the other top ranked universities around the world. Now, you can see what about Stanford University? It typically looks for a score of 1540 or above, obviously. Rice University sets a target of 1520. Princeton looks for a score of 1530. That clarifies that you all need to maintain a score of 1500 or above, of course, to get into these top ranked universities. Here at AGST, our expert faculty members will help you achieve 1500 plus score in the test. So here is an FYI for you all. A good, or I should say a great score in SAT even matters in the first year of college. I'm talking about your dream international university over here. Because once you're there, once you're into your dream university, you will definitely seek your involvement in any of those universities, clubs or communities to join in, right? You will be in the gaining end only with the great SAT score. Because of course, your ranks in schools also matter. Same is the case with SAT scores over here. Your scores will matter even in the university. So can we have the next slide now, please? These are the images. These are our top results at AGST. Yes, as you are seeing over here, you can even achieve the perfect score of 1600 in the SAT. It is possible to score this high through our intricate strategies, the tricks, as well as the tips which are given in the classroom for verbal and quant, both the subjects which are covered in the SAT. These students are now placed in world's top ranked universities right now. However, I would like to mention over here, it is equally important to understand that a high score alone is not sufficient. Quality education and a well-rounded academic profile are equally essential. These universities not only seek academic excellence, but they also look for students who have demonstrated leadership qualities, extracurricular involvement, and a genuine passion for their chosen field. Remember, the SAT score serves as a stepping stone towards your academic and professional journey. It represents your dedication, knowledge, and ability to excel in a competitive environment. So you have to have the next slide now, please. Now, let me boost your confidence by saying that the examination into your dream international universities are comparatively easier and have less competition than JEE and NEET. So in conclusion, my dear participants, I urge you to break free from the confines of location bias and explore the vast educational landscape that awaits you. Let us together embrace the power of international education and target top endless possibilities out there. During this webinar, we will navigate through the various sections of the SAT, exploring the best strategies and techniques to excel in each one. From mastering reading comprehension passages to honing your grammar and language skills and tackling challenging math problems with ease. We will leave no stone unturned in your pursuit of excellence. Moreover, at the end of the session, we will address the common concerns, questions, and queries that you all may have. Not only that, we are giving you a chance. Now, hear me very carefully. In this webinar, we are giving you a chance to know your profile and see your chances of getting into your dream university. How? I'll tell you that. We will be sharing a Google form with each and every participant over here towards the end of this webinar, and that Google form is a profile evaluation form. Now, this is a freebie that we are providing to our participants in this webinar right now at this very moment. So at the end of the session, you just need to fill that form and send it over to us. Our profile experts will then get in touch with you if you have filled out that particular form. Our aim is not only to help you achieve an exceptional SAT score, but also to equip you with the tools and knowledge necessary for lifelong success. Now, without any further ado, let's dive into the intricacies of SAT preparation, guided by our esteemed and seasoned faculty members. Amit Gupta sir, with his profound expertise and an experience of 16 years as a verbal trainer, will unveil the secrets to master reading comprehension, grammar, and vocabulary, whereas Rajiv Dogra sir, an exceptional quant trainer with an expertise and experience of 17 years, will equip you with the mathematical prowess needed to conquer complex problem-solving tasks. With their guidance and support, we are confident that you will unleash your full potential and achieve remarkable results. Once again, I extend my gratitude to all the participants for joining us today. Over to you, Amit sir.
Oh, great. What a wonderful evening it is. Thank you so very much, Survi ma'am, for a wonderful start. Hey, everybody, before I go ahead, when ma'am was talking, I was looking at the comments and I wanted to tell each one of you guys, you are asking questions right away, but might be possible that all your these answers you might find in the webinar, right? So my request would be, please watch this complete webinar because we have got all information related to SAT as well as study abroad, universities, and all those type of questions which you are actually asking. Just wait, let this webinar be complete, and then we will be answering all your queries in the last. And I'm really happy to see some of the university which are people saying Harvard is my dream university, Stanford is my dream university. Of course, this is what we will be discussing and we will be telling you. And we will be talking about how can this dream big come true. what is the ways, what are the strategies to get a good score in SAT. All these things we will be discussing today. So my request, please be there and understand what are we talking about, right? So let me give it a simple sentence. What are we going to discuss here? We're going to discuss if you want to study abroad after your 12th for your engineering, what are the possibilities? How can you get into these dream universities which you have never think of? How it is truly possible? This is what we will be telling you here at AGST. So without wasting time, let's begin and talk about the SAT. Now, when we are talking about SAT, ma'am has already told SAT, we call it at AGSD, we call this exam as Saturday. So please change the slide, sir, so that we can get through the actual format of SAT. Now, what is there in this SAT exam? So reading and writing, that's a part of English. So that is the one section. The second section that it has, it's math. So it has English and maths. In English, you see, there are total number of questions are 54 and there are two modules. With each module, there are 27 questions. Now, total two modules, there are 54 questions. And how much time we are getting? We are getting 32 minutes for each module. So in total, 64 minutes. So in single word, total 54 questions and we have 64 minutes to complete them. Similarly, if I talk about maths, you see there are total number of questions are 44, 22 questions in each module, and total time that we are getting is 70 minutes, 35 minutes for each module. Now let's understand why there are two modules, why there aren't one module as a combination of 54 questions or 44 questions for maths. Because the test has become, the digital test has become, interestingly, it has become question adaptive. Now it is a adaptability has came into this picture. So what does it mean? Let's understand that. The first module that you will be getting, it will be a combination of easy, medium, and hard questions. And based on that questions, let's say you are getting difficult questions correct, or you're getting easy questions correct. Based on that, you will be getting the next module. So if you're getting difficult questions correct, next module will be difficult that you will get, and your score will be automatically be higher. So this is what it has been incorporated from this year. Please change the slide and let's understand what are the differences between the previous SAT as well as the new SAT. So now, earlier it was an old SAT, which actually came into 2016 till 2022. And then in January 2023, it has become as digital SAT. And now we call it as digital Saturday. So let's understand what are the basic differences that it had came up. This is just an understanding that we are giving you so that you can understand what are the ways the test has actually changed. Why we are telling you this information? Because let's say after this session, when you will be putting this SAT on Google, you might get details which are actually based on old SAT pattern. So you should be aware about that. Now let's talk about what are the differences that it has been incorporated. So test format, if you talk about, earlier it was pen paper based test. Now it has become computer digital test. Earlier you used to go to the center and then you used to give the test. Now also it is at the center. You have to go to the center, but you have to bring your own laptop, your own device, and you have to give test on that device. That has become digital now. Next, the duration. Earlier it was 3 minutes 15 seconds, whereas if you talk about today, it is just 2 hours and 14 minutes. So you can see that it has 1 hour 1 minute. It is shorter. Earlier it was a writing essay, although it was an optional, but now there is no essay at all. So you just have to complete the reading and writing. That means the English part as well as the maths part. Then passage types. Earlier they were long and boring passages. Yes, they were very long passages, and 14 to 13 questions for each passage used to come earlier. Whereas now you see each question has each passage. So single passage, single question. So this is how you can see the changes that has came up, and which is actually affirmative for all of us. Then earlier there were different sections: reading, writing a language, and maths. So English was divided into two: reading and writing a language. Whereas now it is just completely divided into two parts. Reading and writing has combined together and become one section, and the other section is maths. Now next is test adaptability. So earlier, as it was pen paper based test, there was no adaptability option. But now in digital SAT, it has. And it's good for you, because if you have a good potential, you can actually score more. And now making 1600 possible has become easy. Earlier, if I talk about calculator usage, it was just allowed in one section. There was a separate section where it was just allowed. Now, throughout the math section, you can use calculator. On-screen calculator is available, as well as you can bring your own calculator. Rajiv sir will put some more light on it in the quant section. Okay. And lastly, number of attempts. So guys, this test, SAT, unlike our Indian exams, whenever you are ready, you can give this exam. Earlier, it was 5 times in a year. Now this has become 7 times in a year. June and November has been added, and you can give test. So whenever you are ready, you can give this test. So that's the advantages that you can get. So now you can see that digital SAT is a compact test, as well as it's good for you, right? Great. Can you please change the slide, sir? Now, I'll talk about some questions or the reading strategies. How can you score more and better? But for that, what I have done is I have taken a case study of one of our students. I am not revealing his name, so that's why I have taken the pseudonym and I have named it as Vinay. So I'll be talking about Vinay, and I'll be telling you that what type of problems we faced when we together studied and got his score, what he wanted to get in. Okay, so let's please change the slide and let's go through the profile of Vinay. So you can see that he was an 11th student. He came last year in October 2022 and he wanted to give SAT. He had a plan to give SAT in the month of December 2022 because he was a little afraid because the next year onwards, that means in 2023, it will be changed. The test will be changing. So that's why he wanted to give the test in the December only. And he came in October. So there was completely 2 months approximately we had. And he was a brilliant student. He was from CBSE curriculum and he was a brilliant student in science. But he was having a bibliophobia for literature. He was more inclined towards practical things. And he did not like reading books or texts. So that had a problem. This was a problem with him. We had to actually fight with him. And because of the lack of interest, he always tried to escape. Like, okay, wherever he gets chance, he doesn't want to read anything like that. And because he was thinking that he is getting good score in English exams during his curriculum in the CBSE curriculum, so he just thought that I can still manage in English as well. But so before we can ask him to book his December exam, we asked him to give a diagnostic test. So please give a diagnostic test. Diagnostic test means that we will be measuring, he will be giving a real SAT score, a real SAT test, and we'll be measuring his score, where how much he's getting. Based on that, we can decide where he can get the final exam. So Rajiv sir, can you please move forward? So he gave his diagnostic test and you can see his score. He got 620 in maths and he got 590 in English. So total score that he got was 1210 out of 1600. He was not getting complete score in maths as well as in English. And when he got this score, we did not allow him to go through the December SAT because he needed more time. When I asked him that you have to prepare for reading, he told me, "Mujhe reading nahi karni. I am happy, right? And I can get through the passages. Mujhe passages samajh mein aa jate hain and I can provide the answers." When I asked him, when we did the analysis, he told me, "Mujhe passage samajh mein aata hai, but mera question incorrect ho." And just to cater that okay, he was able to understand the passages, then why he is getting incorrect questions? We did something. What did we do? I'll going to show you that. So for reading comprehension, we started giving some activities to him. But before that, while analyzing, I identified what type of problems you are facing. Please change. Now I'll tell you, there are 4 factors, 4 things will be checked in English, SAT English: reading comprehension, grammar, critical reasoning, and literature. And guess what? He was not confident in any of these 4. However, he was thinking that I have a good understanding of the reading comprehension with the passages because I am getting good score in school curriculum. I made him clear by saying one thing, and I'm saying the same thing to all of you as well. Understand, what is the school curriculum and what is SAT curriculum is totally different as far as we talk about SAT English. Because in school passages, you are not making a thorough reading. You are starting reading by reading the questions first, not the thorough passages, right? But here you have to understand the passage, you have to understand the meaning, and then you can provide the answer. So we have, being a school student, you guys have a target to get that question correct. That is reading comprehension. However, in SAT, you have to understand the passage and the question will automatically be corrected. So to do this, we applied some of the activities and I would like to share that with you as well. Please change. So this was the passage that I gave him, one paragraph I gave him and I asked him that, okay, please read this. He asked me, from where you have got this paragraph? I showed him this picture of the book that I have got this from here. Now, I would request each one of you to please read these lines, read some lines and identify whether it has came from this book or not. You can just understand the way it has been written. Right? I'm looking at the comment box. Yes, of course, there's no negative marking in SCT. Right. So when you are reading this, what understanding you are able to identify? Do you think that this text might have taken from the book that you can see on the picture? No, great. So I'm getting some answers. No, some are saying yes, it is from the same book. Yes, of course, there is no negative marking in SCT. Yes, it's from the same book. Okay, some are saying yes, some are saying no, no problem. So what exactly you are doing when you are reading this text? When you're reading this text, you might be thinking with some pre-assumptions that you already possess in your mind, right? However, in reality, please change, sir. This text has taken from this book. Now you see the difference. This book is a pure literature. Whereas, can you please show the previous slide, sir? Whereas, if you look at the picture that I have shown, it is not from the literature, correct? But what is happening when we are reading this, our mind is automatically making inferences, and we are able to relate it to it. We are able to see, yeah, because it has been given, it must have came from this only. What is happening? That's the problem. You are thinking that you are able to understand the passage, but actually, in reality, you are not able to understand the passage. Your mind is just making inferences. So, the first thing that you have to keep in mind when you are reading the passages for reading comprehension for SCT is what you are able to understand, you need to clarify that. And that is how you are not be able, then that is how you are able to restrain yourself from getting confused by the answer choices. So I'm sure you're able to understand that, correct? Perfect. Let's move to the next one. Now, this is interesting, guys. I would request you, please don't ask further questions, just understand, and it will be very much helpful for you guys. Please read this story and tell me after reading this story, what mood it sets you for. Are you feeling sad or are you feeling happy? What are you feeling? My question, I repeat, I wanted you to read this story. And after reading this story, you have to tell me what are you feeling? You are feeling sad or you are feeling happy. Go ahead and share your thoughts. Yes, go ahead. I'm sure you're going to enjoy this story. Okay, I'm started getting answers. Wonderful, Madhur. Very good. I agree with you. Very good, Lavanya. I agree with you. Oh, so I'm getting different answers. Some are saying this is good. Some are saying it's funny. Some are saying it's humor. Some are saying it's worried. It's sad. Right? No. I'm not talking about Hoja. I'm talking about you. How are you feeling? I'm not talking about the character. Okay? I'm talking about you. How are you feeling? So I'll tell you what has happened actually. Okay. I gave this story to Vinay and I asked him, please read this. And there was some questions that I showed him. So the base was that how you were feeling after reading this. And he told me the same thing, that he was feeling sad. I asked him, why are you feeling sad after reading this story? He told me that I am feeling sad about the character or about Hoja, right? But the question was not asking this. What was my question? If you have heard me correctly, I asked, how are you feeling? I did not ask how the character was feeling, right? And you must have understood when you read this, the last sentence clearly says, my donkey knows where my home is. Without him, I can't find my home. He was confused. So that means that donkey knowing where was the house, but he was not knowing it, right? So are you understanding the context of it? Am I asking any question? Am I putting any questions or am I putting any choices over here? No, I'm not asking any questions. कोई choices नहीं है यहाँ पर, right? Simple question. What are you understanding? Correct? So this is what you get through it. This is what you get through it. So what is important here to all of you is please understand what are you reading. If you are able to do it, trust me guys, you can get all questions correct. So these are the activities that I had to do with that person so that he could understand what is reading comprehension and how he could go further. I'm sure you guys are enjoying this and you must have understood what I'm trying to convey as far as the reading comprehension concerned. Correct, everybody? Right. You can ask these questions later on, guys, but please pay attention towards it so that you can exactly understand how exactly reading comprehension works, right? Obviously. And this is not just limited to one exam only. This is a common to each and every exam which is related to English. So I request आप इसको please ढंग से समझें. Correct? Please change the slide. Then after this, we moved towards the grammar part. When I asked one question, I realized that he has a problem with punctuations more. So when we talk about punctuations, how to deal with those questions? Here is a question that you can try, guys. I wanted you to just type the correct answer according to you. I'll guide you towards the correct answer. Don't worry on that part. Please share your answer. What do you think shall be the correct answer? Okay, I've started getting the correct answers. Wonderful. Oh, that's great. So many of you have provided correct answers. Wonderful. Great. So one letter I'm getting so much. Very good, Karanveer. I'm so impressed. Wow, Madhur. That's correct. You are intelligent. Very good, Shiv. Very good, Yuvraj. Good going. Oh, that's great. I can see you guys bombarded with answers, the letters, right? Okay, great. Now let's understand. Guys, what if I ask you why this is the answer? Will you be able to provide me the correct reason? That's my question. क्या आप मुझे कोई reason दे पाएंगे why the answer that you have selected? Right? I doubt it. But let me tell you. Let me take you through. Now this is again, you have done a wrong process. Why it is wrong, I'll tell you. What was the question asking? Out of 4 choices, you have to get the one correct answer. Am I right? Now you see, one answer choice has 2 commas. Second answer choice doesn't have any punctuation. Third has 1 comma and fourth has just 1 colon. Oh, that's great. You have shared some explanations as well. I would like to, I can't stop myself to read it because the comma tells us to pause in the right part of that sentence to differentiate between the sentences. Very good, Anvita. But let me give you more clarification on that. Good Shiv, but I don't want to reveal that actually, right? So let me make you understand now. But kudos to you, Shiv. Very good, very good. Let's understand now. Can I use comma or I shall not use a comma? One. Second, shall I use this colon? This is known as colon, right? Or shall I go without any punctuation? Now, these are the questions that we have to understand, right? I'm damn sure, guys. Just tell me yes or no. Okay, just answer me yes or no. How many of you, listen carefully, don't start answering yes, right? Okay, don't start answering yet. Understand. How many of you have eliminated the answer as your first elimination? How many of you eliminated D? D तो बिल्कुल नहीं हो सकता है. सबसे पहले eliminate करो. Correct? How many of you? Oh, that's great. So many of you. Wonderful. That's perfect. That's perfect. I'm on the same page. I'm on the same page. Right. Very good, Jayesh. You are true, actually. So most of you have eliminated D as a first answer. Unfortunately, the correct answer is D. Isn't it great? Now you must be wondering why D is the answer. I eliminated D first. Why does it make sense there, right? Now let's understand why does it make sense. How does it make sense? Okay, let me tell you. क्या करना है हमें? What is our job? इन 4 में से एक करेक्ट आंसर चाहिए. Am I correct or not? इन 4 में से एक करेक्ट आंसर चाहिए. Correct? What? Very good. 2 तरीके हैं इसको करने के. Number 1, I should know the correct answer. I go and get it. C is the answer. I go and get it. A is the answer. Second way, if I am not so sure, if I am not so confident, what is the other way? I can simply eliminate the next 3 choices and get down to the 4th one. True. Let's do that. This is called process of elimination, cancelling out questions. Let's understand. When should we apply that? When we are not sure, when we are not confident, then we should do this. Were you confident doing these questions? I'm sure you're going to say yes, sir. I knew it. Correct. So this is why. This is how we have to solve this question. Now stop typing and understand question. Okay. This is important. Not because of this test actually, because of real life as well. How and where have you used this colon? You might not be knowing it. But when and where you use comma, you must be able to tell me. So go by that way. Let's read the sentence first. Looking at the history of punctuation can be helpful. Okay. Second sentence. The number of punctuation marks commonly used today much smaller than in the past. Tell me guys, both these sentences are complete or not? Are both these sentences make sense or not? I'm breaking them, right? Where the punctuation are being used between the helpful and the number, right? So I'm breaking here and I'm reading the sentence till helpful, right? And then I'm reading the number. Make sense? Correct? So when I break in, what I'm able to see, both are complete sentences. Now remember everybody, when both are complete sentences, listen carefully. When both are complete sentences, we cannot use comma. I am, comma, going to teach you. Is it correct sentence? I am, comma, going to teach you. Is it correct sentence? You will say no, sir, because there is no comma. You need a complete sentence. At the same time, if I say I'm going to teach you, we will study English today. Can I use comma between these two sentences? Some are saying yes, some are saying no. Understand, you can not use here because both are complete sentences. Yes, the idea is same. You are saying the same sentence. I agree with that. So you may use a full stop, you may use semicolon, but you cannot use comma. Comma shows dependency, guys. Right? With this way, what you can simply do, you can eliminate A, B, and C. What am I left with? With this simple rule, which is universal rule, you can simply eliminate A, B, and C. What am I left with? The correct answer. Wonderful, Akanksha. That's of course D, 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 D. Absolutely correct answer. Right? Absolutely correct, Anvita, but I don't have that option. Right? I don't have that option. Simply I'm going with this way then. Correct? So ultimately what you have to do, you don't have to see what is the best answer. You have to see out of these four what is the best answer. Correct? This is the second strategy that Vinay understood. That when he was not sure for those questions, he should follow this. And this is how he understood, right? I am sure you must have understood this, right? Now you feel that these punctuations are not hard. They're not actually, because you have to utilize the MCQs, the power of MCQs, correct? Okay, this I cannot tell you because we have a time restriction, so I cannot go with one-on-one, right? That what is the usage of colon and comma. For that, please leave something for the class as well, isn't it? Right? Let's move forward now. Rajiv sir, please change the slide. Please change once more and once more. Correct. We have to see the literature question. Come, go forward, please. One more. Correct. So we had one reasoning question also, but there was a different strategy that we followed for that, but time doesn't allow us to discuss all of them, so that we are moving forward and talking about the literature question. Now, next question. You have to tell me yes or no. How many of you love literature? Although I knew the answer, but still I wanted to know from you guys. Oh, I am glad to see. Yes. Oh, Gad, that's wonderful. That's really wonderful. Someone said love it. That's great. That's great. But we don't get much of audience like that, isn't it? Right? So now hang on. Those who don't like literature, those who love literature, that's wonderful. You can answer this question. But for those who do not love literature, what to do in that case? Vinay told me, sir, I don't want to do these questions. I can leave it. And that's the easiest way that you can do. If you are not sure with something, what do you do? Leave it. Right? He asked me, sir, tell me the calculations. How many questions I have to face these type of in the exam? And I told him, forget them. Let's face it. Right? How many times you can leave it? Although you knew that you cannot do this, so that's okay. So this is that strategy that we followed. And I'm sharing this with you guys. Listen carefully. Don't answer. Don't type anything. Listen carefully and pay attention to it. You can see the question. It says the following poem is written in 18th century England by William Blake. Now you will say first thing sir, एक तो 18th century है, वो पहले की इंग्लिश वैसे ही समझ में नहीं आती. दूसरा लिटरेचर और है. Why should we study for that, right? Now I'll tell you how can you still get this correct. Okay, it's the easiest way to get to it. Easiest way. What is the way? Is you will have to understand the question, which says, please change the slide, sir. The question says, what is the poet's purpose in writing the poem? Rajiv sir, please change the slide. Now you can see the poet's purpose is what they're asking. What you have to do, just read it. Remember one thing, don't read this poem more than 2 times. Is it clear? I repeat, don't read this poem more than 2 times, otherwise it will be killing your time. Okay, so when you read it 2 times, you are able to identify what they are trying to say. You don't have to actually get the meaning of entire poem. No. Remember, whenever question is asking what is the poet's purpose, that means why. Why did writer wrote this? Why did poet gave this poem? Why? So you can see, please change the slide, sir. You can see after reading this, it's asking to explain the holiday, to validate the joys and sorrows, to extol the wealth and prosperity, to bring attention the miserable conditions that they are getting in, right? So now the question arises here. Absolutely, you are able to eliminate A and C. Correct, guys. Absolutely correct. But you might get confused between B and D. Now you are down to 2 choices. How can you get to the correct answer? See the problem. You will be eliminating strongly. The problem with B is it's talking about joys as well, and it is not talking. How can you get through it? I'm really amazed to see. Kudos to each one of you. You all have given the correct answer as D. I'm extremely happy to see that. I wish Vinay could see that you all are correct, which he could not get initially. That's wonderful. That's really wonderful that you have all give the correct answer. So the point here is that you, regardless you are understanding the entire meaning or not, you can still get to it. Absolutely correct. D is the correct answer. Now, when we discussed all these things, apart from this, please change the slide, sir. There are vocab and context questions. There are graph questions. There are cross-text questions. So for that, we played some activities. We actually played together with lexical resources for him. And he was able to enhance his vocab. So another name for vocab is lexical resource. And we talked about reading. So it's not like that he's supposed to read passages. No, he's supposed to actually read articles, not just solving questions only, right? And then we talked about how actually he's supposed to take care of the errors. गलतियों से क्या सीखें? That is the important thing that we made him understand. And at last, sir, please change the slide and show us the fruit that we all got. So finally, we were able to get this score. Please change the slide, sir. And I'm sure you all must be happy to see score same as V. We were also happy to see this score. He got 1530. You could see that in reading and writing, he got 730 out of 800. And in math, he got 800 out of 800. So he was able to score well. And that was first digital SAT internationally. First digital SAT score that he got. And he really made us proud. Now he is preparing for his for best universities he's targeting, and I'm sure he will gonna get top 10 universities. It's not like that because of this score he'll gonna get. Apart from this, also with our profile building team, he is actually preparing so many things, and he's working on some research as well. And I'm sure he'll gonna get in top 10 universities very soon. So this is how we have understood. Now the point is, you can see that earlier he just got 620 in math, 620 in math. And now you can see he got 800 in math. How did he get that? मैंने आपको बताया 730 कैसे आया reading writing में. Now Rajiv sir will gonna tell you that how he actually scored 800 out of 800. Right? So thank you so very much, guys. You must have understood the points that I wanted to highlight and make you understand, right? And I'm sure you must have enjoyed that and understood as well, right? Concept समझ में आया होगा. This is what you must be following. Correct, Ram Niresh? मेरी बात समझ में आ रही है? Right? Good. Now I request you to Rajiv sir, please take them forward towards the quant. Thank you so much, all of you. Thank you, Rajiv sir.
Thank you, Amit sir. Good evening, everyone. So let us start SAT quant section, SAT math section. right? So we have so many students during counseling. Many students, they are from like 11th and 12th standard, and they are from medical, humanities, or arts background. They don't have maths in their 11th or 12th. So like during counseling, they share their experiences. Hey, sir, I got very less marks in SAT English section. So what about maths? So guys, believe me, SAT math section is very, very easy. But at the same time, questions are very tricky, right? So let us understand about SAT quant structure. If we compare, look at this one. If we compare old SAT with digital SAT, first one you can see duration of SAT quant section. It is reduced to 70 minutes, right? But you can see in old SAT, there were 15 plus 520, then 38. There were 58 questions. But in new digital SAT, questions are 44, right? So questions are also reduced. So there is no time constraint. If we talk about old SAT, in one section, calculator was not allowed. But in second section, calculator was allowed. But in new digital SAT, calculator is okay for all the questions, right? There are two types of questions in old SAT, in new SAT. Questions are MCQ and SPR. What about MCQ questions? You will get 4 answer choices. Only one option is correct. In SPR, you have to write your own answer in provided box, right? But in, you can see in old SAT, initially like students were getting 15 MCQ questions, then 5 SPR questions. Similarly, in second section, 30 MCQ questions and 8 SPR questions. But here in digital SAT, all questions are intermixed. Means your first question can be of SPR type, right? So if we talk about SPR questions or MCQ questions, you will get 75% of the questions from MCQ format and remaining 1/4, they are from SPR format. If we talk about SPR questions, so guys, you have to be very, very careful. In SPR questions, you may get more than one correct response. Look at the example. Suppose you have to find the integral value of X. So look at this one. Here, the possible value for X is 4 and 5. Right? So if you place 4 and 5 here, so answer will be 45. So you have to be very, very careful. Out of these two possible answers, you have to write only one answer. Right? So now, SAT quant syllabus. So College Board has divided SAT quant syllabus in 4 categories. If we talk about 4 categories, so they are algebra, problem solving and data analysis, advanced math, geometry and trigonometry. So these are 4 categories. If we talk about first category, so in algebra, you will get these topics. So mainly algebra, we have questions related to linear equations, inequalities, system of linear equations, graphing inequalities. So they will be in first category. If we talk about problem solving and data analysis, so you will get questions related to ratio, proportion, percentage, statistics, probability, questions related to random sampling. So they are in second category. If we talk about third, so that is advanced math. Means you will get questions related to polynomials, quadratic equations, functions, exponents and radicals. So that is the third. Last but not the least, that is geometry and trigonometry. And these are the subtopics, right? So if we talk about the weightage of these 4 categories. So guys, you can see from first 2 categories, algebra and advanced math. You can see in SAT quant section, you will get 13 to 15 questions from each category. right? If we talk about problem solving and data analysis, you will get 5 to 7 questions from each category. So this is related to the weightage of these 4 categories. Now there are few important points. If you've heard about GMAT or GRE, Amit sir has already explained new digital SAT. This is not CBT. CBT means computer based test. This is a CAT. CAT means computer adaptive test, right? But just like GRE and GMAT, GRE and GMAT is what? Question by question adaptive testing. But new digital SAT, you guys have an advantage. This new SAT is section adaptive. Means every section is divided into 2 modules. So if you get stuck in difficult question, skip that question. You guys can freely navigate to any question in the given module, right? So don't waste your time. If we talk about negative marking, many students here are asking, sir, is there any negative marking in SAT? So there is no negative marking for wrong answers. But it doesn't mean you guys are doing the blind testing. Why? Because your overall performance. So that will affect your section score, right? So third one, which is again very important, you will get only 10 minutes break. That will be between English and math section. In maths, there will be 2 modules and you will not get any break in between. Last, you guys can use your calculator and inbuilt graphical calculator. So that is provided on the screen. But if you guys are not comfortable in using that inbuilt graphical calculator, so I will give you advice. You can carry your own scientific calculator. Simple scientific calculator is recommended. Yes. Now let us discuss few basic math strategies. Our student Vinay, he had scored 800 out of 800. And I can assure you, like, every student can score at least 750. Survi ma'am has explained, SAT has no full form. But in SAT math class, I tell to all my students, if you are planning for 750 plus, if you are planning for perfect 800, then yes, for maths, there is a full form for SAT. And what is the full form? Guys, S stands for smart work. If you're planning for 800, so you have to be very, very smart. A stands for apply tricks, avoid traps. Out of 4 options, 3 are very, very close to correct answer. So you have to apply tricks, avoid trap. And last one is what? T. T stands for time management. Right? So there is a competition between speed and accuracy. If we talk about SAT, they are not checking your intelligence. This is not subject SAT. This is a reasoning SAT. So there is a competition between speed and accuracy. You have to maintain speed with accuracy. So let us discuss few questions based on basic math strategies. This is the first one. Guys, you can see here in this question, first of all, this question is related to MCQ. And you can see 4 options are there. In SAT Maths, always remember language plays an important role. 40% answer is visible in question itself. First of all, you have to understand the question. Here you can see John spends half of his income on rent. 1/3 of the remaining, look at this part, remaining. This is very, very important. So 1/3 of the remaining on food. Then 1/4 of the remaining on studies, right? And rest he saves. Find the fractional part of his salary which he saves. So now many students, what they do while solving these types of questions, or particular this question, what they do, they add all these 1/2, 1/3, 1/4, and they will subtract total from 1. And look at the trap. Trap is waiting. Minus 1 upon 12. That is wrong. And many students, whenever we have no idea how to solve the question, what we do, we find the pattern. We find a pattern. Look at this one, 1 by 2, 1 by 3, 1 by 4, and 1 by 5 is also waiting. So for few students, they will click on C. And many students, they will see here, income is unknown. If income is unknown, so it is not easy to find that saving. So cannot be determined. So guys, how we solve these types of questions? This question is related to algebra. So here, unknown variable is income. So if you're getting unknown variable, that is question related to algebra, and there is a fraction. So always choose a number which is what? Common multiple of denominators. So look at this one. We have 2, 3, 4. So that is the LCM of denominator is 12. So let us assume total income of John is $12. Right? So half of 12 is gone. So what is half of 12? It is 6. So 6 is gone. So now he is left with 6. Remaining, 1/3 of the remaining. So 1/3 of 6, so that will be 2. So now he is left with what? 4, and that is 1. So now you have to find the fractional part of his salary, which is saves. And fraction is what? Part over whole. So 3 out of 12 he is saving. So in this way, you can easily find B is the answer. So this is a new way of solving questions related to algebra. We are changing algebra into arithmetic, right? So this is the first type. Let us discuss another question. And that is related to what? That is related to graph. And believe me guys, this is a favorite question of college board. You can see we have graph. 4 graphs are given in all the 4 options and 1 inequality is given. Right? So if we talk about inequality, we can see all 4 graphs. They are similar. Right? But if we understand, so there is some difference. We can see A and D. They are giving what? There are dotted lines. C and B, there is a solid line. Right? And another difference is in A and C, you can see the shaded part is below the line. But in B and D, shaded part is above the line. Right? So always remember, if we have less than or greater than sign, so your line will represent a dotted line. If we have less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, or less than or equal to, there will be a solid line. So guys, without solving this question, what you can do, we can eliminate. Yes, this question is related to what? Strictly less than sign. So we can eliminate B and C. Right? And this is the power of processive elimination. What is our target? We are planning to find the correct answer. But if you are not able to find the correct answer, so what we can do? We can eliminate the wrong answers. Right? So now we can see we are left with A and D. Now in option number D, we can see we have this point. This is what? Origin. And in origin, we have X and Y as 0, 0. So just like previous question, here we are using substitution. In place of X and Y, we are using 0, 0. So now check if 0, 0 is satisfying this inequality. Yes, 0 is less than 5. If it is satisfying, 0, 0 is satisfying, so shaded part will be above the line. So easily you can click on D. So in this way, you can solve questions related to graph. So let me discuss last question. We have time constraint. So this question, you can see here we have what? Roman numerals, right? And here, if we talk about process of elimination. How we use process of elimination? Look at first statement. Here you have square of a real number is always positive. And this question is what? This question is related to must. Which of the following must be true? Right? Always remember, if we have question related to must, your target is what? Your target is disproving. We will find at least one case for which the given statement is false. So look at first option. Here it is given square of a real number is always positive. So whenever we have time constraint, we choose very easy number. If you guys will choose positive numbers, so square of positive is positive. If you use negative number, again square will be positive, right? But in questions related to must or could, always use zone F. What is zone F? Z stands for 0, O stands for 1, N stands for negative, E stands for even, F stands for fraction, right? So look at this one, 0. And 0 is a real number, but square of 0 is, that is neither positive nor negative, right? So immediately you can eliminate first one. If first one is eliminated, what we can do? We can eliminate B and D. Why? Because in B and D, one is true, right? So even after checking one option, one statement, we can eliminate two options. So at this time, if we will do the guess, so there are 50% chances of getting correct answer. Now look at second, 2 raised to power 300 and 3 raised to power 200. If I have to compare 2 and 3, so it is very easy. 2 is less than 3. If I have to compare root 2 and root 3, so that is again very easy. If I have to compare fifth root of 2 and fifth root of 3, that is again easy. How we can say this is very confidently? Because power is same, right? So here, if we make the power of 2 and 3 as same, so we can easily compare these two. So here, if you remember one thing, x raised to power mn, so that can be written as x raised to power m raised to power n, right? So this 2 raised to power 300, so that can be written as 2 raised to power 3 raised to power 100. Or what we can do, we can write it as 8 raised to power 100. Similarly, this will become 9 raised to power 100, and easily you can write 8 raised to power 100 is less than 9 raised to power 100. And look at this, guys. We can easily eliminate second. And if second is eliminated, so C is gone. Now we are left with only A. And look at the power of this process of elimination technique. Without checking third option, this one, we are getting the correct answer, right? So these are few basic math strategies by which like every student can score at least 750 plus, right? Surabhi ma'am has already explained, like foreign universities, they are looking for at least 1500 score. So if you are making SAT math section as your strength, like if you are getting 800 out of 800 in maths, so then for English, you have to score only 700. Easily, you will join the club of 1500, right? So this is all about SAT math section. So now we will start question and answer round. So thank you, guys. Surabhi ma'am, over to you.
Right, sir. Thank you so much, Rajiv, sir. I hope our participants thoroughly enjoyed the verbal and quant section that we just now discussed. Now it's time to answer all your queries and questions, everyone. So we'll start with the question and answer section of the session now. So the very first question, which is frequently asked throughout the session is, can we get MIT, Stanford, Oxford University with a score of perfect 1600 in SAT? Amit sir.
Uh, that's a wonderful question because everybody wants to go there. However, only numbers or figures cannot determine which university or college you can get in. So it's a complete profile that has to work, and that's how you can get in. If you guys have paid attention towards our MIT selections, then at the same time we were also showing that how many our students have got 1500 plus scores. Then you might have realized that there were some students who didn't get MIT even after they scored more than 1500 or even complete 1600. So it depends on your profile. When I say profile means that apart from academics, there are non-academics as well. So combination, a perfect combination of academics and non-academic activities combined together, and that's what it is called as profile. So as a conclusion, only one figure is not certain for you to get admission to any specific colleges.
Right. We just now got a question which is asking that, is this exam for engineering or other subjects? Amit sir.
Okay, so SAT has English and maths only, and this is an undergrad exam. So what happens in US is, regardless you are going for commerce, humanities, or science, you just have to give this eligibility test to become or to show your college readiness. So it's not a specific engineering exam, unlike our JEE exam. So that's why it contains maths as well as English up to that, not up to the JEE level. It's lower than that, and you have a great chances to get into the great colleges.
Right.
Right.
So another question is, how many times we can take the SAT in a year? Rajiv sir.
Ma'am, SAT happens, new digital SAT, it happens 7 times in a year. And in AGSD, we prepare students in such a way, like in first attempt, students are getting their desired score. So it depends upon students, like otherwise majority of students, they give SAT 2 times.
And when should they attempt the SAT?
Ma'am, we trainers, so we suggest according to their performance. After once we complete the syllabus, we start test series. So accordingly, we suggest when they should book the real SAT.
So in class 11th?
Like our students, there are many students, they are giving SAT even in 10th standard.
Right.
So before SAT, we have PSAT, pre-SAT. So like if students, they are very good in PSAT 8, 9 or 10. So accordingly, we can suggest when they can give SAT. But majority of students, they give SAT in 11th standard.
Rajiv, so there is another question which says, can we combine SAT score from 2 or more SAT attempts, like math score from one SAT and verbal from the other one?
This is a very good score. Yes, this is called super scoring. Many students, they get, like one of our student, he got 710 in maths because he was only like planning for SAT English part. So 770 in English, but unfortunately 710 in maths. But in next attempt, he got perfect 800 in maths. So yes, you can easily combine. That is called super scoring.
Right. There is another question asked by Darsh Malani while Amit sir was discussing about test adaptability. So he wants a bit more clarity on that. Test adaptability, what is that?
Generally, what happens is, like when we are giving a test, it has been prepared already. So it has not been prepared or it has not been customized for each student. Whereas the test adaptability talks about that customization for each student. That means when you are getting the first module and you are getting hard questions correct, that means you have a capacity to get hard questions correct. So the next module that you will be getting will be harder. And if you're getting easy questions correct, the next module that you'll get will be easy or medium. That's it. So this is what the test adaptability was.
Right. So there is another question asked by Ashita. She's saying that, but university admission will be after 12th. If I give it in 11th, can I use it for graduation after 12th? So, Ashita, of course, you can give the examination while you're in 11th standard because the score will be valid for next 5 years. And of course, the application part will be processed when you're in class 12th. So once you are clear with SAT, there will be other examinations as well which you are required to give, and those can be either IELTS or TOEFL, which are the test that test your language skills because you're a non-native speaker, right? So we suggest you to give those tests while you're in 12th grade, as well as the application process of the universities will happen at the same time. Right. So there are other questions as well. Santosh has asked what to choose between IIT Bombay and MIT. Amit sir?
Wonderful question you have asked, and I would request you. I'm sorry, I was did not keep myself as unmuted and I was speaking. Anyways, so I'm saying that really nice question you have asked, and I would request you to please go our AGSD's Instagram account and see one example over there. There's a called Mahit. So this Mahit student was in IIT Bombay, and he has been accepted to MIT. So he left IIT Bombay in first year only and moved to IIT, sorry, move to MIT, and you can see that the post or itself we have posted over there on the our HSD's Instagram account. You can see that. So obviously there is a difference. Actually, I'll tell you what. Go to the go on the website. Put the QS ranking. Okay, I'm referring to everyone, each one of you guys. What exactly you wanted? Survey ma'am initially told you that you guys are location biased. Why? Because let's say I live in Delhi city, so I study from Delhi only. Why? Because what is nearby school or nearby best school that I'm getting, and I'm just going there and enrolling. Why? Because my house, I'm there. My house is there. That's what we do, right? So we are location biased. But when we talk about quality education, when you are going abroad, you shall not look forward to location biasness. So beyond that, you should look what is the quality education. So as a conclusion, go to the website, check the QS ranking, and then you will realize that only three IITs, I repeat, only three top IITs of India comes under top 200 colleges,
Right.
right? And this MIT is number one college. So now the answer is yours.
Exactly. Om Doshi has asked a question about scholarship. He's saying that can we get scholarships from these colleges if we get admission in such colleges? So, Om, I would like to answer this question. As far as scholarships are concerned, they are highly subjective. Still, you can. We actually have divided these scholarships in two parts. One is need based and the other one is merit based. So countries like USA, Canada, UK, Australia, New Zealand, Singapore, they offer scholarships, of course, to all the students. To name a few scholarships, like USA offer Tata Scholarship for Cornell University specifically. It also offers American University Emerging Global Leader Scholarships, Self-Score International Student Scholarships. These are provided by the USA. Universities over there. UK offers Mary Travelin Hardship Fund, Bristol University Think Big Scholarship, and Canada offers one of the very renowned scholarship, which is Lester B. Pearson Scholarship. Right. So these are the different scholarships, and there are many others as well, which are there in which students can easily apply. They need to look for these scholarships time to time and see whether they are open for their dream universities. So yeah, that is the thing about scholarship. Let's move to the next question, which is asked by Krish Prasad. He is asking that if a student is a dropper or has a drop year, is it a problem? Rajiv sir, if you could answer.
No, there is no problem, ma'am. Like majority of students, they are planning for JEE or NEET, and after getting their score, so they plan to foreign universities. But we recommend, so parallelly you can think about plan B. When you are in 11th standard, so you can think about plan A and plan B. So if you have like drop year, so in that particular year, we can plan for foreign university.
Right. So there is next question asked by Jagrati. She has asked if student doesn't reside in the cities where we that means AGST has centers. Can they join AGST? Of course, Jagrati, you can join AGST because all our classes run online only. If you have any question or queries that you would like to ask personally and to the person who is available at the center, of course you need to visit the center, but that can easily be solved online as well. So the classes are there online. Does not matter whether you're in India, in fact, or abroad. Wherever you're sitting, you can join AGST classes anytime, right, from anywhere. Next question has been asked by Atul R. He's saying that what is the benefit of AP exams? That is impressive that he knows about AP exams. Are there any similar exams for the same purpose? Rajiv sir, if you could answer.
Yes, ma'am. AP means college preparatory courses. Whatever student will study in first year of their course. Like this is an opportunity, like students, whenever they are in 9th, 10th, 11th or 12th standard, they are in school, they can earn college credits. And with the help of AP, they can reduce their duration of degree.
Right.
So that is the advantage of AP. And in AGSD, we give one-stop solution, whether it is AP, whether it is SAT, UCAT, BMAT. So we are preparing students for all tests.
Right. Another question has been asked by Gauri. She has asked, will marks of grade 9th, 10th, and 11th matter for university admission? Amit sir, if you can answer.
Yes, of course. Can you please come again? I was just answering questions. Yes. You are mute, ma'am.
I am really
Yes.
sorry.
That's okay.
There is a student named Gauri. She has asked whether the marks for grade 11th, grade 9, 10th, and 11th matter for admission into international universities.
I can't deny the fact completely, although there are some restrictions. So it depends what type of universities we are targeting. To answer this, I can simply give you an idea. If we are targeting top 10 or top 20 universities, then yes, of course, this matter. However, what type of activities or extracurricular activities you have done, then this might can be taken away, and only 10th and 12th matters the most. However, I'm answering this to all of you. Minimum 85% is required in your 10th and 12th. If you have that 85% minimum, then I think study abroad is a wonderful option for you, and you will gonna get good colleges.
Right. So there is another question asked by Karanveer. He has asked, is it necessary to appear for IELTS or TOEFL if one gets 750 or above in SAT English? So Karanveer, there are some prerequisites that you have to have, right? As just mentioned by Amit sir just now, that you need to maintain a score of 85% or obviously above in your school, right, in your boards. So that is one prerequisite, right? The other one is giving SAT. It is required, right? And the third one is giving either IELTS or TOEFL. That depends on which universities you're applying in, right? So these three are the prerequisites. You have to have all these three, right? So does not matter if you have got a score of 750 in English in SAT, you still have to give IELTS or TOEFL because these are the language proficiency tests that tell the admission committee of universities that yes, you know how to listen, how to speak, right, and how to read properly, right? So that is why it is a prerequisite that you need to follow. The next question is by Gaurav. He's asking, can commerce students prepare for SAT and get their dream college for MBA? Rajiv sir, if you can answer.
Yes, SAT is a common test. Whether you are from commerce, you are from humanities, you are from engineering, medical. So like this is a master key. This is not like Indian tests. Like students who are planning for medical, they are preparing for NEET. Students who are planning for engineering, they are preparing for JEE. For US, single test, multiple career options. So yes, even a commerce student, so they can write SAT.
Right. So there are other questions as well. Students are asking about uh, if you can tell them about type of profile and extracurricular activities, and the months and the date for the examination, I would suggest all these students to connect with us. We are keep on typing our contact number, the email ID. For these queries, you can anytime connect with our counselors. They'll guide you through. And I guess we have answered all the major questions that were asked by the students in the session. So I guess that is it about the Q&A section of the session. So I think now the participants, they just need to enter our door, and we at AGST will expose them to hundreds of opportunities which are available there for their dream universities, for their educational opportunities. So just be passionate. It is our suggestion that you just need to be passionate about what you're doing right now. Be creative and self-motivated, because it is a long journey with innumerable milestones to achieve. So be prepared for that. Now, if your dream is to studying abroad, don't wait any longer. Connect with us. All the information is given in the chat box, and you can connect with us over there. And as mentioned earlier, we are going to share the link for the Google form, which is for profile evaluation form. I would request Harsha if you could post that over here. Yes, as you can see. So we are sharing the link for the same. You just need to click on this link, fill out all the answers, and send it over. Our profile experts will connect with you. This is the opportunity that we are providing to our current participants in this webinar, because connecting with a profile expert who will guide you through the process of application, or who can tell you where you're standing right now in the application process, or near to your dream university abroad. This process takes a lot of money in the market, I'll tell you that, okay? But we are offering it for free to all the participants over here. So please take advantage of this opportunity. And thank you. I would like to say now, thank you for attending this webinar. I hope that we were able to answer all your questions and queries, all the valuable information that we had with us. We provided that to you in this webinar, and we hope that you achieve your dream of studying abroad very soon. Okay, hope to see you in the classes. Have a great evening. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for attending this webinar, and please fill out this form. Thank you so very much. Link is provided in the chat box.